Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome back to our series, That's What He Said. This week is going to be one of my favorite episodes ever because it is one of my favorite holidays ever, Vision Day. So I want to talk to you about our family Vision Day, the Guy Family Vision Day. You're going to sneak peek into what it looks like and why it's important, all the things. So let's get to it. First order of business, we started doing, we've been doing Vision Day for years and years and years now, at least like 10 years, I believe. I think we started, at least I remember starting and setting goals. I was at least like 13, if not sooner than that. And Vision Day is just one of the coolest things ever because we sit down as a family, we go over, Center for Victory, we do predictive index. So the first time Josiah and I took the predictive index, we were, either he was 13 or I was 13. It's one of the two. We're only 18 months apart, so you get the gist of the age, like the 12 to 14 range. And we did that. We went over what it meant, and then we set our goals. That really allowed us to know how to set our goals or like what motivated us, all of those things. So that really helped us, start Vision Day off well. So we had been doing it for a couple years at that point, and we didn't do the quarterly reviews yet, I don't think. Or we did, and I just don't remember, which definitely could be. I believe I was either 15 or 16 when I started picking a word of the year. And my first word, which many people who know me know it's my favorite word, it's based off my favorite Bible verse, and actually, it's my tattoo. Can you see that? If not, I'll put a picture on the screen. And it was rise. So rise is based off of Isaiah 61, which, says, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." And this verse is kind of, where I find my identity and my why, my purpose, all of the things. So that was the first word I ever picked. And I remember my dad was like, that's kind of a good idea. Maybe we should do the word of the year all together. But they didn't start it when I did. I definitely started the word of the year before they did. So a couple years ago, my dad, we're picking our words of the year, and he's like, "I'm going to pick fire." I'm like, try not to judge. I'm like, all right, whatever that means. And I was like, well, what does it mean? And, he's super regimented. I should say first, okay, time out. He, every morning, wakes up and writes his goals down. And I really like that he writes them down with "I will" or "I am." Like, it's already, a for sure thing. So he writes it down like it's already happened, and I love that because I'm definitely a skeptical person, or I doubt a good amount. So I think for me, I would be like, I hope that this happens, or I'm really wishing, or I'm dreaming of this, or whatever. He's like, no, this is what it is. No questions asked. This, you ever heard of The Secret, the law of attraction? And we used to talk about that a lot. I feel like we still kind of do, but and again, with the love is a boomerang, you get what you put out. You get it back kind of thing. He does that. He writes his goals down every day with "I will," "I am." It already, it's set in stone already. It's a fact instead of something he just wants. That is what it is. So he writes this down every day. And so we're sitting there at our family Vision Day, which is always first week of January because now we have our community Vision Day, which I'll tell you about here shortly. And we're sitting there. He's like, "I'm going to pick fire." I'm like, all right, what does that mean? And, it's really fun now because originally when I picked my word, I was like, okay, here's my word, here's my Bible verse, here's a playlist of songs. So he made this whole playlist of different songs that reminded him of that fire. And it was the passion for life, being on fire for God, being on fire for your family, your job, all of the things. Just being passionate and being fully in on different things. And I thought that was super cool. It was such a creative take on the words. And I don't know if that was our first Vision Day we held it for a community, and I just remember being so pumped for him to get to the word part because I was like, oh my gosh, I think this is so cool. I hope people, think it's as cool as I do. They probably didn't, but I'm sure, it did get some positive reviews from everybody. But, Vision Day is super fun too, especially as a family, because I feel like that so sets our intentions for the year. Because, maybe Josiah has something he really wants to do, so I can encourage him to do those things. Or maybe my dad's like, hey, for the company, this is where I want to be. This is who I want to work with, We just get that clarity from each other. And it's kind of funny because a lot of my friends, I've definitely gotten some slack for it because it's not a normal family thing. And a lot of the stuff we do, not really normal family stuff. But they were like, is that formal? Is that a business? No, if anything, it helps me understand where I want to go, how my family can help, how I can help them with their goals, and so on and so forth. And the fun part too is, it's not just a day, that's a constant work in progress. Like my dad writes all our words down, like he has on his whiteboard right behind his desk. So where you guys see him film Your Best Day Yet, he has this whiteboard in his desk right behind it, and it says all of our words of the year. So, mine this past year was love, and he has that written down, and so on. And his word this year was surrender, which I know was probably really hard. And I know my word was really hard this year, but that's the fun part, is because it becomes this learning process, and you're looking for, why was this word on my heart? Why did I pick this word? I want this to mean something. What does it mean? The fun part too is, like, we sit down, we do all of our goals, we use the life wheel, and that helps. I always feel like that helps me understand where I need to continue working. Or honestly, sometimes I'm like, I did nothing this year, I didn't reach any of my goals, like this year sucked, I'm just like naturally pessimistic, I think, about it, or about like what I've completed. Or you hear other people's, and it's hard not to compare yourself, or be like, oh, well, they did this and you couldn't even do this, whatever. But comparison is the thief of joy. So I work, and I think it's really good that my family knows this, and like we've worked through that kind of like comparison thing. So now it's more like the got cowbell of it. We celebrate our wins, we support each other. If a goal goes from one year to the next year, like that's not a bad thing, but you don't even realize all the things that you accomplished this year. And even when years are hard, like you got through them, that's a goal in itself, and you've conquered that. So I remind myself of that a lot, because I'm hard on myself. I know you're probably hard on yourself. We all have it. We're all so human, and it's easy to be hard on ourselves, especially when your goals didn't look the same way that you thought they were. And, for example, this year I set goals for teaching, and I never would have thought I would have left teaching, and my goals are not at all the same as what they were. And this has been such a learning experience year, but the best part of it all is that I've had their support through every decision that I've made. And now, I get to work for my parents, and work, not even for them, I guess I work with them, which is even cooler. And I've gotten to work a lot with different opportunities with, Caleb Kolb and ATP, and even, all of the stuff he does for Center for Victory, and with the TPG people, the pavement group people. It's just been so cool to get to know different people and learn and grow. And, sometimes that's just how the year works. Your goals aren't always going to look the way that you think they are. And that's the fun part about Vision Days. We start the year with all these intentions, and we're able to support each other throughout the year. And now what we do are something called quarterly reviews. So we sit down as a family. I think we sat down at least like twice, maybe twice this year. The goal is obviously more quarter, but we sat down and we were like, okay, here's where we're at with our goals. Here's where we're at with, we pick like a big three type of goal. So we have the big three goals, which one of mine was like start a small group, and then one of them was start my master's degree. And so we talk about those goals and how we can support each other, where we need help, where we feel like we're struggling, where we feel like we're doing really well, just like a kind of like I like to call it a pulse check. So we do this pulse check of where we're at, how we're feeling, all that jazz. So then we started doing it for the community, which is such a cool thing to see, because we've had our Bible studies throughout the years. I literally grew up with the one that we have that I literally adore. It's such a cool thing. So we've kind of done this with them a little bit, and I don't know how it even came up, but all of a sudden we were doing it at our church, and we had like 80 something people there last year. This year we're trying to cap it. If you haven't signed up, you should. Hint, hint. It's just been such a cool thing that people also see the benefit and the value of setting your intentions and, working together as a team, having that community support you. I just think that's such a cool thing. It's such a victory for everybody involved, because, there's one of our Bible study guys who was like, yeah, I want to journal more. So like I check in with him, because that was also a similar goal that I had. And he called me out the other day. He was like, you've been journaling? I was like, no, I have not. So then I started getting back on it and trying harder to make that goal happen. And, there's a lot of benefits in having a community when you're setting goals, because a lot of people set these goals and then they're like, I don't know why I couldn't do it for over a month. Like, I don't know why it's already February and I'm slacking on my goals. I know that Vision Day allows me to have the accountability but also the support to be able to reach my goals and be able to do things that are maybe even beyond what my goals were. And, that's a benefit. It's such a almost like a superpower type of thing, that you have this community of people that support you. You have, you know, these intentions, and you're living a purposeful year. You're starting your year off right by setting those purposeful intentions and staying motivated through all of it. And, you know, if you haven't thought about that idea, and also I guess our vision boards, I should mention our vision boards too, and that's the coolest thing. I mean, it's my background on my computer and reminds me of all of those goals, and also of all of the things that I love, of all of the things that bring me joy, give me purpose, and it's all about being intentional. I hope that you start this year off intentional. I mean, this is the first day of the rest of 2025. If 2024 wasn't your year, this one will be. And I hope that you guys can come out to Vision Day. I will have the sign up somewhere, and it'll also be in a link in the bio of this video. So I hope that you guys can come. I mean, it truly is such a game changer, and it allows you to have the community of support, and you gain more awareness, you learn more about yourself, you grow as a person, and that's what makes, you know, your year so great. And I think that could really be a catalyst for some amazing opportunities and possibilities for you guys, and I know it is for me, and I'll also be speaking at it and be there and be involved, so it'd be super cool to have you guys all there. With that being said, you know, sign up for Vision Day. It is so game changer for, you know, your year, and it's been such a great bonding experience for my family and for my dad and I, as we've, you know, even been able to talk now, you know, company goals and like where we want to go and different things. You know, it's such a blessing to be able to do that, and to be able to do it with you guys would be even cooler. So I hope you guys can join us for Vision Day. You're going to hear a lot more about it if you follow us, and you should be following us. So yeah, we'd love to have you there. Let's make 2025 your best year yet. And with that being said, I hope you think of a word of the year. I hope you think of some goals. I would love to help you guys in any way that I can. If you can't come to Vision Day, if you don't live in PA or don't want to make the drive or whatever it may be, we're here to help you. We're here to support you. We're here to make this such a great year of intention, of purpose, and of joy, of all of the things. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you start this year off well. I hope your holiday season was refreshing, restoring, and re-energizing. And I will see you next week to talk about some other fun stuff on That's What He Said. Sign up for Vision Day, please, please, please.